Good morning, good morning. Join us. So, while we're still waiting for others to join us, let me just enumerate all the materials that we will be needing for this art. Again, we will be painting two ballerina figures, a mommy ballerina and a daughter ballerina. We will be needing just three colors, three watercolors, red, blue, and yellow. Okay, so we will be needing just three colors for today's art. And then we will also need a round brush, any size that you have that you're comfortable using. If you have a pen, this is optional, a waterproof pen that can be washed on without smudging. This is optional. If you don't have this, a pencil is also great. You can also just use this pencil, but for this art, I used, or I wrote, or rather I sketched over the pencil with my Acurit waterproof pen. But if you don't have this, pencil is fine. Okay, and then we will be also needing the mixing palette, which I have right here in front of me, and watercolor paper. But I am showing you my recent artwork, a mother and a son, because I also want to demonstrate how a watercolor block can be used for your artwork. And I will also demonstrate how to remove the painted on sheet, the finished sheet, using this nifty tool. You can also use a ruler for this, but I love using blocks because with watercolor paper blocks, you don't need to stretch the paper. Remember, I mentioned about paper stretching yesterday. So with block, you don't need to stretch your paper. But if you don't have a block, of course, you are free. Feel free to use any watercolor paper that you have in your stash. Just tape around your paper in order to have a crisp white border. I will show you what I mean by that. Let me just show you how I usually paint with paper. So what I do, I sketch over the paper with pencil, and then sometimes if I'm up for it, I also line with waterproof pen. And then once I'm done with the sketch, I usually dip this piece of paper in a bucket of water. I wet this, as in super wet siya. And then I tape around so that the paper doesn't buckle every time I paint over it with wet washes. Okay? So there you go. This is my latest project. I painted this last night, or rather yesterday afternoon. Although I sketched this in the morning. Okay, so this is a Scottish castle. Okay. For today's artwork, I will be using a watercolor block like this, and then again we will be painting with just three colors: yellow, blue, and red. So grab your round brush now and your three colors. Okay, I will teach you how to mix black, purple, pinks for this project. Okay, so let's start with first removing my finished art with this leaf blade. Okay, so let me just demonstrate how usually a block like this comes with a cover, and the papers are all glued together on each side so that the paper is held down and doesn't buckle every time I add paints and water on this paper. And then once I'm done, there's a slot here where you can slide in your ruler or this leaf blade and remove your artwork on top. Okay. Like that. there you go. This is my finished artwork. And then you can already paint on the next page. Okay? So a block like this is usually contains about 20 sheets of watercolor paper, 300 GSM. This is cotton. This is the most ideal watercolor paper to use because the colors appear vibrant on this type of paper. Also, you can do multiple washes without the paper getting destroyed. Unlike with using just the 200 GSM non-cotton papers or cellulose papers. Okay? So, today, we will be painting on a limited palette, which means we only will be using 3 colors. Okay? The yellow, the blue, and the black. In my case, I am using French ultramarine blue, alizarin crimson, and this yellow right here, which is, what's this? It's a Daniel Smith cadmium yellow deep hue. Alright, with this 3 color, we will be mixing multiple colors. Alright, let me just show you. Watercolor paints are really expensive, right? So that's why I really advise, especially for beginners, to use limited number of colors, because you can actually paint. You can actually mix so many colors with just 3 main primary colors. These are the primary colors. With these colors, I was able to paint this portrait. So if you don't recognize her, she is Margie Moran, one of our Miss Universe, our second Miss Universe. This is Emily in Paris, which I painted last year. This Ballerina was painted using just 3 colors. This is a portrait of a child, again painted just using 3 colors. This is Sean Connery here, and I'm sure you recognize her. She is Catherine Bernardo. With just 3 colors, you can actually paint so many paintings or arts and have a variety of colors on your art. Okay? Let me just show you some of my latest paintings for inspiration, because I might teach you how to paint them in the future. So just a preview of what we can paint in the future together. So this is a beach. This is the moon, the super moon that we saw just recently. This is a cherry tree from Makoto Shinkai's art book. This was inspired by another Japanese watercolorist. Makoto Shinkai is one of the artists behind Studio Ghibli anime. And this is cherry blossom. This is a walk in the woods. Okay, these are my practice pieces. Again, cherry tree, a red currant drink, okay, cocktail drink. This is a train in Japan where you have this cherry blossom trees and this train, love train, I think. And this is watercolor rendition of a bookshelf. This is also done using just 3 colors. Some practice portraits that I did recently, just a practice sketch and another sketch of a portrait, stylized portrait. Okay, so again, those were painted using just 3 colors. So for today, we will be painting this. But first, let me show you how to sketch these 2 figures. Okay, one of the most difficult theme or subject to paint using watercolor is portrait and human figures. Yeah, actually, I'm still studying how to sketch portraits and human figures. But for this project, let me just show you the reference that I painted. We will be... Okay, so please grab your pencil. Sketch with me first. Okay, if you already have your paper, please divide your paper with these 2 lines right here. Okay. So, just some background info. We will be painting a mother and her child figure on a stage after a ballet performance. That's the story behind this art. Okay, so we will be painting two figures here. I will show you the basic sketching technique for this, and then we will have a light source right in the middle. Okay, lighting these two figures rather, and then we will have this a background color of dark color para meron kang light in the middle and then darkness. Okay, so how do we do that? Let's just first sketch very lightly this light source. So this is on the stage, right? And then, so this is dark, this is going to be dark, this is going to be dark. You don't need to follow these lines. I'm just showing you that this will be dark and this will be the source of light. Okay, now for the figure, let's first sketch si Mommy. Okay, so let's just roughly sketch her head shaped like a heart. Okay, there you go. And then, so heart muna ha, heart. Okay, and then we will add a circle. Okay, this is a rough sketch, and please sketch very lightly. Okay, but we can always lighten our sketch using this kneadable eraser, or if you have any eraser in your stash. And then let's sketch her neck. All right, so usually ballerinas are slim. Okay, and then let's now sketch her shoulders. Okay, so don't worry if your sketch is not the same as mine. Remember that the objective of this art is to draw a human figure, as human as possible. If it doesn't look human, you can just adjust your sketch. If it's your first time to draw a human figure, that's also okay. This is beginner friendly. Okay, so I just added the strap of her dress, right? And then her armpits. Okay, okay, here. So this is the back side of a human figure. And then it's like a triangle. It's like adding a triangle here, where you have the shoulder and then this line here, and now the skirt. So we will be adding just the skirt of the dress. Okay, like that. Okay, here you go. We won't be painting, or we won't be sketching the legs part, just the skirt. And then for the hands, okay, the hands are in front. Okay, so there you go. As simple as that. Okay, so we can just adjust the strap like this and maybe make this a little deeper or curvy. And then there you go. Or maybe I should adjust the strap. I'm not happy with my straps, so let me just adjust that. Okay, feel free to adjust your drawings as needed. Okay, so if the lines are confusing you, I'll just erase some of the lines here. Okay, and then of course there will be a few strands of hair on there. Okay, next we will draw the child, which is about this level. Okay, okay, this level, so you don't need to sketch that line. So another shape. So the head will be pretty much like a petal, similar to petal. Just sketch that. And then just for you know, for styling, I added this to what you call this? It's like this style of hair here, where you have two side bonds. Okay, can be a circle here. Parang si Chun-Li. Okay. And then, of course, a few strands of hair. Okay. And then her neck. Okay. And then shoulders again. Okay. Very quick sketch lang. Make them appear as human as possible. Okay. Okay, and then the arms. Okay. So let me just add a strap of the dress here. There you go. And then the trunk. Okay. And then of course her skirt, right? So in this picture, she is behind her mom. Okay, so their skirts are overlapping, right? And then of course their arms are right in front of them, so we don't need to draw the arms, or rather the hands. Their hands are in front of them. Okay, let me just adjust this because she looks muscular. Let me just slim down her arms. Okay. There you go. Okay. There you go. So let me just fix my strap, my dress, her dress rather. And then let me just do that. Okay. There you go. It's done. Just a few hair strands here. So now we have two human figures. Okay, do you have questions so far? Let me just check the comment section if you have questions. Good morning. Okay. Okay. Oops. Bakit nag-blur yung camera? There you go. Okay, so now that we're done with the sketch, I understand that some of you probably don't have waterproof pen, so let me just skip that part because probably not a lot of you or not all of you have a smudge-proof pen. So let me just skip that part and let's proceed to painting this one. But first, I want to lighten the sketch by rolling my kneadable eraser over it. Okay, if you're worried about erasing your sketches because you work hard on sketching them, you can also skip this part. But as for me, I really don't like the pencil marks. I don't want them too dark. Okay. Okay, so now let's start mixing the colors. Again, we will just be using a limited palette, meaning we will be only using 3 primary colors: blue, red, and yellow. Okay, so in this drawing, I actually mixed the 3 colors to give this a very dark background. Okay, so let me just teach you how to mix that. Okay, so grab your blue. This is French ultramarine, but whatever blue you have. For those who got their watercolor kit from me, I'm pretty sure you have a blue paint on there in your kit. So let me just add some water. And now let's grab some red. Let me just add some water on my dry watercolor, red watercolor. So now let's add some red. Okay? You will notice that the color has turned into purple or violet. Okay? So depending on the amounts of red and blue, you will have either reddish violet or dominantly blue purple or violet. Okay? Now, how do we turn this to black? Just add a little bit of yellow. There you go. Now it's almost black. Let me add some yellow. More yellow. Okay. There you go. This is for the background color. Okay. So now this is a little bit yellowish. So let's add some blue. More blue. Okay. So now it's a little dark. Here you go. Okay, let me just check. Parang may nakita akong comment. May question po ba? Wala naman yata. Okay, so good morning. I just adjust my camera again. Okay. Okay, there you go. So now, let me just rinse my brush in my bucket of water. And again, I'm using a round brush. Okay, if you have a flat brush, that's also fine for the background. But for the rest of the artwork, we will be using round brush. So might as well just use a round brush. Okay, let's wet this part. Because we have a spotlight and then we have this dark background. So imagine they just finished a performance. It's in a dark theater. And you have the spotlight on the two human figures who just finished their ballet performance. Okay, so let's just wet this section. So now let's proceed to painting the background. Okay, there you go. So I wanted a dark background because I wanted the spotlight to be on the figures. Okay? I want the light on the figures. So the main subject should be very visible. So it's good to have a dark background. Okay? There you go. There you go. So that's your first layer of the background. We will add more layer into that. Siguro second layer up to third layer para mas dark pa siya. But now, let's proceed to mixing. While we let this dry, let's proceed to mixing the color of the dress. Okay, the dress for the mom is purplish. Okay, in order to mix that, again, we will be using red and blue. This time, wala nang yellow. Okay? Just the red and blue. Here. Okay? And then because we want this to be a bit on the reddish side, we will add more blue. Okay? So siguro mga around 60% red and 40% blue. So mas marami lang ng konti. See red over blue. Okay? There you go. And then let's add some water because we want this to be thin para may isang layer ka muna. So this is the first layer of the dress. Okay? Just a wash. Okay? This is just first layer. Okay. And I want this painting to be a bit loose pagdating sa skirt, meaning it doesn't have to have so many details. So you can just brush it like that. Okay, just add some water in your brush and then let the color flow downwards like that. See? Like that. Okay? And then just color the strap. There you go. Okay, just like that. Just to show some flow into this. But remember, this is just the first wash. This isn't the final color of the dress. It will be a lot darker than this. Let me just correct the spill of the color on this side. But not to worry if your color spilled. Okay, you can always fix that by cleaning your brush, drying it a bit on your towel or tissue, and lifting the color off. Okay. So let's now mix the skin tone Okay? So the skin tone is just a mix of yellow and red. Now, depending on how you want the color to be, for the skin tone, you can adjust your red and yellow, the amount of yellow and red in your mixing palette. If you want to test that out, get a scrap of watercolor paper and test it. If this is too yellow for your taste or for your for what you want for the skin, you can just add more red. Okay? So now this is a little pinkish. Okay? So parang blush yung color niya. This is the skin tone that I want. Okay? So for the skin tone, I want this to be a little blush on the side. And then because this is wet, I will not touch this arm because I fixed that, right? So let me just color her neck. There you go. And then like that. Okay, so again, this is just the first layer of the skin tone. Okay, tracing the color. There you go. Okay, para lang alam natin. And then it's okay if you leave some white parts, especially dun sa top part, okay lang yan. Kasi may light pa yan mamaya. May highlights pa yan. This is just the first layer of the mommy's skin. Okay? There you go. There you go. So, kung lumalagpas yung kulay, it's okay. You can just fix that with some amount, a little bit of water, clean water on your brush. And then it's okay if you leave some of the sections white, especially dun sa pinaka-boundary dito sa edges ng skin. Okay lang yan. Okay, so that's your first layer of the skin tone. Again, I used the color red and yellow for this skin tone. Okay, let me just flip that off, but I'm okay with that. So now, let's color. Let us color the skin tone of, in this time naman, kukulayan naman natin yung skin tone ng little girl. Okay, the little ballerina. Okay, if you notice, I'm leaving out some of the skin white, especially dito sa edges. I will show you why. Okay? Later, papakita ko bakit ko iniiwan na white yung mga yan. So again, this is the first layer of the skin. Okay? I deliberately left out yung hand because the hand detail is a little bit difficult. Since majority of the kids here and mommies are newbie watercolorists or beginners, so hindi muna natin ituturo yung pagdrawing ng hands. Okay? So we're done with the skin tone. Let's now proceed to coloring yung dress ni little girl. So for her dress, we will be using the same color that we use for the mommy, but this time we will be adding more blue. Okay? We will be adding more blue. Okay? So imagine with just 3 colors, you're able to mix darks and light violet. And then this one is blue violet. Okay. Let's add more blue into this. Okay. And then I will add more water because I want her dress to be this color. Ayan. This color here. Okay. So let's add more blue. There you go. so this is like this color. Okay, parang periwinkle blue. Parang medyo periwinkle blue siya. So this is very watery. If you notice, watery siya. Yan. Let's just color the strap first. So what I like about this round brush, it has this pointy tip. So it's much easier to color dun sa mga narrow sections ng dress like the strap. Okay? Nang walang masyado nagsispill over na color. And then for the skirt part, pwede ka na lang magdagdag ng water. Yan. Water lang. I'm wetting my brush with just water. Wala nang kulay. Okay. So kids, this is actually how you paint white. Yeah, napansin nyo wala akong white sa palette, but this is actually how you paint white. If you want your dress to be white, just heavily dilute the combination of blue and red for this dress by adding just water in your brush and having the colors move downwards. And now you have a white dress. Now if you want to add more color into this, that's fine. That's also fine. But I'm just showing you how to mix your white. See? It's not really as white as the paper, but when you're painting watercolor, you don't actually paint with white. You actually just add more water in your mix to make it appear like white. Okay? So now let's go to mixing the color for the light. We actually just need one color, which is yellow. Okay, let me just remove the skin tone and let's just heavily mix yellow with plenty of water. So I'm grabbing water from my bucket with my brush. Okay, so I'm just diluting yellow. Okay, so now I have a very light yellow. But before I color the light, the spotlight, I will wet this section with clean water. Okay, and I will show you why I need to do that. Okay, and then let's just touch the head part. Let's also wet the head part of the mommy and the daughter. Okay, so baka nag-wonder kayo why we need to do that. I will show you later then why we need to do that. But for now, let's wet the head of the figures and the paper around it with yellow. Okay. So, the way to test whether the paper has been wet completely is by looking at the side and looking for the sheen. So, usually kapag wet yung paper, meron siyang sheen. Okay? This side is not completely wet yet. Okay? Okay. So I will wet the sides or the parts where I forgot to add water. Okay, again, I'm adding the head to this. Okay. I'm also wetting the head part. Okay, for the skin tone, may question kasi about skin tone. You just mix yellow and red, and then adjust accordingly. You can have a blushy color like this, blush color, by adding more red than yellow. But if you want the skin tone to be more yellowish, you can add more yellow than red. Okay, that's how you mix skin tone. If you want the skin tone to be dark, you can add a little bit of blue. Okay, let me show you how to do that. You want a dark skin color, you mix red. So look at this side, this part of the video. red, and then yellow. Now you have orange, diba? Add more red para maging parang pinkish yung skin color. Now, if you want the color to be dark, parang morena na color, just add a little bit of blue. This is a bit tricky because it takes some mixing. So, kailangan medyo onti-onti mo lang ilalagay yung brown, ay yung blue, until you get the mix of dark skin tone. Okay? Just a bit of blue at a time. And then, the skin color will have this, ayan o, parang medyo morena siya, but you can add more yellow siguro, para maging mas brown naman. Ayan. So, kailangan mo talaga siyang, kailangan mo siyang iswatch sa paper para maging pinay color sa skin tone. Okay? Pag masyadong orange yung naging skin tone mo, you can just add red into your mix. Okay? So, you really need to swatch your color first on your scrap of paper para makorek mo siya accordingly. Alright? Now, if you have already painted your skin tone and it's orange, that's actually fine. Okay lang yan. Okay lang yan. Don't worry about it. Since this is just a stylized human figure, it doesn't need to be realistic. If you've seen anime films, some of the colors there are really varying. May mga parang vampire white, may ibang characters na orange yung kulay, may ibang characters na pink yung kulay ng skin nila. That's fine. Don't worry about it. Since this is just your first time to be mixing skin tone, it's okay to have to make some mistake. Don't worry about it. We're here to paint. We're here to paint for fun. Huwag kayong ma-stress if hindi nyo nakuha yung proper mix ng color, because there's no such thing as proper mix. This is art. You have the license to create your own color. Your own color. I'm just showing you the proper mix for the skin tone according to how I usually do it. But you don't really need to follow yung mix na ginagawa ko. You can have blue skin if you want. Okay lang din yun. This is your art, okay? So don't worry about mistakes done. If you have already accidentally colored your human figure orange, that is totally fine, okay? Don't worry about it. So now, I am adding, so wet na to, itong area na to, I am now adding yellow. And I'm just letting it flow, even touching this part. Okay, so again, this is just first layer of your light. If you notice, sobrang light pa niya. And then I'm allowing the color to also flow into the head. Okay? Okay, if you notice, I have also added the color here. Okay? Kasi there should be a transition between light and dark. Okay? Kaya I have allowed the yellow to reach even on the sides. Magbi-bleed siya towards the side because may transition ka pa rin naman ng dark and yung spotlight. Okay? Okay na po ba dun sa skin tone? Now, remember, nagsabi ako na magkakaroon ng yellow din sa side na to. May white spot here. Ito yung purpose niya. Kasi when there's a light hitting the skin, yung part na yun ng skin, mag-glow kasi siya. Kaya, napansin nyo, nag-add ako ng water din sa head kahit na wala pa siyang hair color. Because magkakaroon ng part na halos parang yellowish yung mga sections na tinatamaan ng light. Yun yung reason why I let the yellow flow even dun sa skin ng figures natin. Okay, so if you notice, masyado pang light yung color. Okay, so we will add more yellow here for second layer. But let's just first wait for this to dry. And let's now proceed to mixing black for the hair. Okay, so for hair, it's the same color as the one in the background, but we will try our best to make it as black as possible. So, kunwari, black-haired yung ating characters. Yung ating figures. Okay? So, again, the color that we will be using for this mix is yellow, blue, and red. Okay? Here. Then, kayo rin ang bahala if you want the color of the hair to be brown, for example. It's up to you. I have just decided to mix black for the hair because I want to show you how to mix black using just the 3 colors. But it's really up to you how you want your color to, how you want your hair to appear. Kung black ba or brown, it's up to you. Okay? So if you notice, I'm adding blue and red and adding a bit of yellow to darken this color. Ayan, so I'll add more blue this time because I want this to be as black as possible, as dark as possible. Here. There you go. I'm just mixing the colors because I want this to dry first yung sa head part. Okay. This is dry na, so we can color this background. So the same color for hair we will be using for the background. Okay. So the reason why it's nice to use just a limited palette because nagko-complement yung mga colors. So walang color na na nagsi-stand out masyado because you're mixing colors from the same primary. You're mixing your paints from the same primary colors, just blue, black, and so this is your second layer pala of the, before I forget to mention, this is your second layer of background. There you go. So nakita nyo, mas nag-darken na siya. Just adding water ha. Okay? There you go. Okay, you can just fill in the light colored part with the paint. So mas maganda kung one stroke lang. Okay? Huwag yung pag ganon-ganon. One stroke lang. There you go. There you go. Okay. Now, let's color the second layer. Let's paint this with, while this is wet, let's add the yellow. Okay? And let the colors bleed. Meaning, magmingle siya with the black. Para meron kang transition. And then, just touch the edge of the head. Yan. Hanggang dito na lang. Wag na yung buong head. Okay? I hope you can still follow. Okay? There you go. Okay. If you notice, I'm letting the yellow touch the dress as well and the skin, sa edge ng skin. Because again, those are the parts of the body na tinatamaan ng light. Okay? And this is a loose painting. Again, I'm just touching the head part, the topmost part ng head with the yellow color. Okay. Yan. Okay? Yan. Yan na yung part ng skin na tinatamaan ng light. Alright? And then yung dress, syempre tinatamaan din siya ng light. So meron siyang sort of yellowish tawag dito edge. Diba? Kasi tinatamaan siya ng light. Okay? There you go. Okay, so this is still wet. Wet pa rin siya. So, let's again mix. Kasi naubusan ako ng hair color. I will mix the blue and red again for the hair color. Kasi naubos ko na siya sa background. If you still have the black color mix, very good. But if naubusan kayo, you can just follow again how I mixed it. Okay? So the reason why I am mixing now is because I ran out of the black paint. At the same time, I want this to dry. Pinapa-dry ko muna siya. So that's the thing about watercolor. Sometimes you need to wait for the colors or for the paints to dry before you can add another more layer. Okay? Or another layer rather. Okay, so again, I am mixing my color for the hair. Okay. How are you doing? Okay, so this is dark already. Let me just swatch that. Okay, this is already dark, but I still want this to be darker. Okay? Yes, if you notice, ang dami ng glue. Just add some, okay, so let me just add some yellow. A little yellow pala. Okay. There you go. So, yun lang yung tricky about having limited palette because it takes time to mix the colors. But this is really how you learn to mix color, by using limited palette. Okay, so this is a bit dry na. This is a bit dry na. Okay. So we will color the hair na. Let's see. Let's check. Okay, it's still wet. So hindi ko pa pwedeng i-paint yung hair. But because the dresses are already dry, yung dress nila, let's color that first. Okay? So this is a mix for the daughter's dress. So let me just add another layer here. Okay, using a round brush. And then dito sa part na to, medyo dark siya because nasa likod siya, 'di ba? Nasa likod yung dress, so medyo dark dito sa part na to. Okay? Dahil hindi yan masyadong tinatamaan ng light. Okay? But dun sa part na sa my skirt, gawin nating mas lighter para ma-define natin yung color ng dress, yung separation between this part at saka yung skirt. Okay? There you go. Yan. Tapos, para magkaroon siya ng sort of pleats or texture, grab some color for the hair. Make sure to mix that and then just rub it like that. Okay? So, if you notice, meron na siyang pleats, yung skirt. And then may part na highlights. You can just lift some color using a clean brush. Okay? So what I did there, I rinsed off my brush and then dried it on my towel, and then I just lift off some color. There you go. So nagkaroon na ng texture yung skirt nung little girl, 'di ba? And then I just add some color here kasi dapat medyo dark tong part na to. Okay? There you go. Yan. Oops, nakulayan tong part na to. Tanggalin lang natin. Okay. And then para smooth siya, transition, yan. Inaayos ko lang, okay? There you go. Let's now add some red into this mix, yung para sa dress naman ni Mommy. Okay? Lagyan natin ng blue. Go. Yan. And add some red. There you go. And then let's paint. So medyo tricky to kasi basa pa yung dress ni baby, so ni little girl. So medyo iiwasan siya ng hand ko. Okay. So medyo basa pa siya. You can always turn your painting around para hindi pa siya masyadong dry, kaya siya nag-bleed. Paayusin natin yan mamaya. Okay? And then with a few brush stroke, lagyan natin ng texture yung part na to ng dress. Okay? And then I'm putting my brush into the water para ma-rinse off yung colors, and then I will drag this color using just water. See? Nagkaroon na ng texture yung skirt ni Mommy. So that's another way of doing the skirt para magkaroon ng texture. Ang tawag dito, dry brush effect. Okay? Yan. See? May texture na yung skirt ni Mommy. Okay? So kids, if you are able to follow, very good. Otherwise, that's fine. You can always rewatch this video. So now I'm dabbing in some color here para mag-darken to, itong part na to. Okay? Para lang may separation ng upper part ng dress sa skirt. Okay? So, okay, let me just soften this part kasi parang nagkaroon ng hard edges. Yan. Okay. There you go. Okay. And then let's just soften. Yan. Yan. Okay. Okay. I think dry na yung sa head. So let's proceed to coloring the hair. So again, I used a mix of red, blue, and yellow for the hair mix. Okay. So I'm leaving out some white parts for highlights. And then if you notice, hindi ko talaga siya solid na kulay. Hindi solid yung kulay na nilalagay ko. May mga white parts. That's because may light na tumatama sa kanilang hair. Okay? Because of the spotlight. Okay? Ganyan na siya. Right? And then you can just add some imperfections to make it look organic. Parang may mga hair strands na yan, pwedeng ganyan. And then, let's proceed to coloring the mommy's hair. I'll grab some color kasi naubos na yung color sa brush ko. And I'll just add the hair color. So, if you notice, hinihintay ko pa talagang mag-dry yung mga first layers bago ako nag-a-add ng colors. Kasi otherwise, magbi-bleed yung color into one another, which we don't want. Okay? Alright, it's almost done. But if you notice, hindi obvious yung separation ng bun dun sa the rest ng hair ni Mommy. So, we will just add more colors dun sa boundary between ng bun and ng the rest ng head ni Mommy. Okay? So, parang may shadow na nakast yung bun dun sa hair. Okay? So, hindi pa siya masyadong convincing right now because the colors are still bleeding. So, let's just wait for that to dry. But now, let's add some skin tone pa. Kasi masyado pang light yung skin tone nila. I mean, at least for me ha. Pero kung dark na yung color ng skin tone nun sa inyo, okay lang din. If you don't want another layer for the skin tone. For me kasi, medyo light pa siya. It's too light for me. So, I'm adding skin tone. Okay. This is a bit orange pa. I'll just add more red. Okay? So, medyo tricky, no? Kapag nagko-color mix. But that's how you learn to mix colors. Okay, this is fine. So, I will color the skin. Okay? Okay, just a little bit. Pero yung edge, hindi ko nakukulayan. Okay. And then here, may konting dark color kasi may nakakast na shadow yung head over doon sa may batok na area. Okay? So, there you go. Oops. Lumag pa siya. Let me just fix that. So, kapag ka may nag-bleed off na color, okay lang yan, don't get frustrated. You can always leave that off with clean water. But in my case, kasi the water is no longer clean. So, it's nice to have 2 bottles of water. One that's clean and one that's for mixing or rinsing off your brush rather. Okay, so let me just there you go. Okay. Okay. So that's your second layer of the skin tone. So it's almost done, diba? I will just add the shadow here for the bun para ma-separate natin yung bun. Okay. Ayan. Tapos, lagyan lang natin ng konting dark here. Here. Tapos, I'm just adjusting the colors, ha? Kasi parang medyo light pa yung hair. Okay, there we go. Okay, if you notice, I left off some white marks. White patches. And then, let's add, I will add some blue, a little bit of blue, dun sa skin tone. Para lang for the shadow. Kasi may shadow here sa ilalim. Here. There. Yan. Dito sa part na to, cast by the head. And then here. Okay? So now, it's almost done actually. You can already stop from here. Okay lang yon. But I just want to add some yellow dito sa part na to, sa head, kasi tinatamaan niya ng light. Okay? So, lalagyan ko lang siya ng, tinatamaan siya ng light. Okay? There you go. Tapos, dito sa part ng skin, sa bandang edge. Kasi tinatamaan din niya ng light. Okay, so those are your highlighted sections. Okay? Yan. If you want to add more details sa skirt, you can always add more details on the skirt. If you want to. Yan. Okay. I realized that this might be too advanced for your kids. You can always rewatch this video. Yan. Hindi pa pala ako nakapag-add ng a little bit of yellow doon sa skirt kasi tinatamaan din niya ng light. Okay? So, lalagyan lang natin ng konting yellow yung dress. Okay? Lagyan natin ng yellow. Yung bandang to ng dress. And then you can add more color then sa skirt ni little girl if you're not happy with it. There you go. And if you notice, quick brush stroke lang yung ginagawa ko to add texture. Kasi hindi naman flat yung dress na mga ballerinas. Okay? If you're happy with your colors, you can already stop sa part na to. Okay? But if you're like me na medyo parang hindi pa, nakukulangan pa ako, I want to add more light dito. Yan. So, tinapangan ko yung kulay ha, because I will dilute this color with water using just my clean brush. There you go. But I will no longer touch masyado yung human figure kasi basa pa yung color nila. Okay? So, this is just water. Yung ina-add ko na. I'm just trying to move the colors to the side and dun sa baba. Okay? But the colors here are a little diluted na. Brush na lang to ha. Water na lang to ha. Hindi na ako naglagay ng color pa. Okay. There you go. Para lang mas vibrant pa yung color ng light. But if you're already happy with the color of your light, it's okay to skip this part. Again, this is your art kasi. So, you decide however you want your colors to be strong or vibrant. Ganyan. But for me, kasi gusto ko i-darken yung color ko here. Para mas convincing na the spotlight is on them. Okay? I'm being careful not to touch the body kasi medyo basa pa siya. Para hindi masyado mag-bleed yung colors. There you go. And then, I can use this pen para i-define yung, teka, anong ano to, size. I'll be using size 2.2. Okay, if you don't have the pen, that's fine. Meron kasing special type of pen na pwede sa watercolor. Ito yung mga pens na waterproof. So, hindi siya nagsasmudge if you notice. Pero I like using this kasi I can add these details, mga tiny details. And then I can always define my sketch using this pen. If you don't have a pen like this, it's okay. You can skip this part. So you can just catch up with your sketching while I'm doing this. Okay? There you go. So nag-a-add lang ako ng pen details. Okay, that's the beauty of smudge-proof pen like this. Kahit basa yung pen, I can always add some texture. Okay? There you go. Okay? Tapos, you can also write your message for your mom if you want to give this arting. But I want to add my signature in Japanese. 2021. Okay. Done. How are you guys doing? Let me know if you were able to finish your painting or you're still doing it. But I'm done with my painting. I will just write the message later kasi I haven't decided what message to write for my mommy. Okay? Don't forget to sign your artwork, ha? I really want to see pictures of your child's or your children's artwork. Okay? Bigyan nyo kay mommy yung artwork ninyo. Tapos nakalagay, Happy Mother's Day, mommy. Or, I'm your biggest fan, mom. Okay? Pwede tayong maglagay pa ng ano dito. Some wispy strands of hair. Okay? Done na ba? I know this lesson is a little bit more advanced than the previous lessons that I did. But I hope the kids were able to enjoy this. Remember, the most important part of painting with me is when the kids are having fun. So hindi ano, wag ma-pressure, especially about the colors. They don't need to be exactly the same as my colors here. I have been doing this since last